Hello YouTube. I wanted to do a video on a little project I've been working on. My dad's really into honeybees, so I made him a observation hive, and this thing's about 4 foot tall, and it is basically up here to it, got holes 5 deep frames in it. I've just got one in it right now that I used to measure by, but see the bee space here and here on it, and real easy to make. Looked at a couple of them online and just started building, and it kind of evolved as I went, but it's basically 2x4s, so real inexpensive. This is a 2x4 frame. It goes around all the way around it, and I cut these little pieces of plywood here and left a space between them to hang your frames on. So again, not real hard to make on that part, safe from having to dado a groove in there. And I drilled these holes. They're a few inches right below the top of the frame, and they're 7/8 inch holes, and they've got a screen in them, and they actually go up on an angle. One reason why, so when the rain blows it won't go in there, and the other reason is once the air comes in the hole, it will start it going up, so the heat will go up and out. And here's the top I made for it. Now there's no inner cover on this. The bees don't actually come up here, they're screening those holes, so they're just vents. And I spaced it up right there with some spacers, so it goes on like that. And the back side of it, I actually made, this is fixed glass on the back side. I just made one side removable so you can get into it, and if you got to work on the glass on the other side, you just pull the frame out. But you go down here, right here's where the bees go in. Right there, there's a landing board on it, they go in there. And then on the back, I actually made feeder back here, so you put your jar on there, and they will go in right here to get to the SERP. So when you put your other frames in, you got your bee space between them, and then you got your bee space at the bottom. And while I was building this thing, I actually made this little piece of wood here, and you can slide it right on the top. I can do this one-handed like that, and it goes back against the glass on the back side. And of course, when I put the glass on this side, it'll touch it here, and you can close this thing off. So if you just want to do 3 frames, you can basically stop it where you want to. You don't have to utilize all 5 of them if you just want to do 3. So little idea kind of popped into my head as I was building it. And here is the the door on it. I didn't hinge this thing because there's a pretty big hinge on it. So I just basically made it where it sets in, and I've got these little latches here you just turn once you put it in. So you pick it up. If I can do this with one hand and a foot, get it put in at the bottom like that. There we go. And then it slide in there and there like that. So now your bees are in there, and I'm going to need to go around this thing on the inside and put Vaseline, because they will glue that sucker in first chance they get. And then I made this glass. This is actually a plexiglass. It's not a like a window pane, so it will flex in case they get ahead of me and glue that thing in. But knowing bees, they will definitely do that. I didn't paint the inside of it, so they will have that room in there, and then there should be 3/8 bee space between the glass and the frame there, so they'll be able to crawl up and down. And then I also made this lid cover over it right here out of plywood. Got a handle on it there, I got a paint. And if you look on the bottom down here, there's a groove right through there that sets in across the bottom, and then I also did one right up there on the top, right through there. So basically what you do is just take this thing again. I'm going to try to do this one-handed, and you start it in the top right there, and you slide it up, push it in down at the bottom, and it locks down into place. So that'll keep the sun off of them. So the sun won't be going through the glass and keep them cooler. And I made one for the other side too. So take it out. You just basically slide it up and then pull it out at the bottom. Drop it down. Move it the other way. So it works like that. These little latches again hold the actual glass in. So it's pretty versatile observation hive. You can, just put the bees in it and watch them go at it. I think my dad's going to initially use it for a mating nuke. My cousin works at a local bee yard, and he's got a lot of bees, so he's going to bring us some frames. Hopefully we get one with the queen cell on it. So we'll put that in there and watch the queen hatch out, see what they do, and watch her go on her maiden flight and come back and start laying. And then I made it, pretty portable, so you can move it around real easy. Put those braces on it here. Again, that's just 2x4s. Real inexpensive to make. The most expensive part was this glass, and boy, are they proud of glass anymore. But so you can actually set it right beside where you're going to put your hive, and then just transfer them right over into it. So we're going to try that, see how that works, and I'll post a video once we get put the bees in it, and probably do a couple more videos, if we get one of the queen cell. Observe if I can catch it in time. If I'm not at work, we'll see her hatching out and see how they react, and hopefully she'll make a successful flight and start laying, and we'll transfer it over. So again, we're going to try this thing out and see how it works, and I'll post some follow-up videos later on. Thanks.